Not me.
The City
Oilers up against Denmark Power.
But that game, to me, I wouldn't say champions in
well,
waiting.
the JKL play KCCA Leopards.
Yes,
In the past, it was the biggest game.
Yes.
One of the biggest games. Not JKL particularly, but KCCA and UCU. Then up came JKL.
Yeah. So it's one. I was talking to someone actually yesterday. I really wanted to go down there, watch those games, but then I had to catch them online with the FUBA start online. But why I feel like City Oil is still called the club in waiting is
Champions
because
in waiting.
Champions in
this
waiting.
Early, just one game.
Yeah, because we've not come up with a more skilled, more exposed, more tactical team like City Oil. And when City Oil sees a talent they can groom, they will always buy it. I think in basketball, City Oil is the richest team, for lack of better word. Yeah, so when it brings talent, it gives you that necessary training. The coach is skilled. And the medical.
Grace, the most important thing at City Oil is the discipline.
Yes.
I've watched a couple of their training sessions, especially the past 2-3 weeks. The discipline is simply high. That is what is making them win these titles. Forget the talent. The other teams have the talent. For example, Namongo Blazers last season was simply going them toe-to-toe. But then ultimately, of course, the talent shone through then.
Yeah.
But behind the talent, there is a level of discipline at the City Oilers, and they've got the pedigree and urge to win. There is nothing for them apart from winning that last game of the season. You can beat them anywhere else. For example, the past few seasons, they've been losing the first 3 games. The reason as to why guys are in fact saying that they're champions in waiting, I think, is because a couple of seasons ago, they lost their opening 3 games. And somehow, I don't know why, whenever they're starting a season, they play against the top teams. They played KIU last time out. Now they're up against Denmark Power. Denmark Power is without doubt one of the best in this country. But they find a way of negotiating the last game of the season.
Actually, the last playoffs, they do not mess with them.
Beyond the result, they've got players. They've got Tony Druleba out injured as we speak.
But they are still winning.
Yeah, they are still winning.
But I like what they have done with Fayed Bale. When I used to see him at UCU, I saw him in this game, the first game they played. I went there to watch just how he plays with the others. In UCU, as you have said, the discipline, they never stick to the game plan. Yeah. When the fire comes, you see the ball starting to change. It's the same thing with the NAM Blazers. I watched them last season, and their plan changes according to the game. What I've noticed with City Oil, when Monday says we are playing this, whether we are losing or not losing, that is what we play. So I think I like that Fayed Bale has gotten into the rhythm, and I think that will do very, very good for him. Plus even Michael, the Sudanese, Michael Ngut, who came, I saw him get into the routine, and I feel like Monday is really doing a good job down there.
Yeah, so City Oilers are in action. Now, of course, they've got a new lad. They've got a young lad. He's heading to university. He came on at some stage of that game, in the opening game of the season against KIU. He's called Alawi Serunjoji. I've talked to him. I've met him because I've told you, I've watched a couple of training sessions of that club down at Bugolobi Silver Springs Hotel, where they do their trade. But the discipline is simply overwhelming at that club. And Mande Juruni is much respected as a coach. What actually happens elsewhere, some teams, because they've got so-called senior players, they will not listen to the coach. But there is no one City Oilers player who will question what Mande tells them. True. If he comes and tells them, this is the drill we are going to do, all of them will simply respond. As building a point, Tony Druleba is out injured. Yeah. He's been a part of the system for many years. They've got Ben Komakech, they've got Jimmy Enabu. Now, they've got James Okello. Yeah. These are lads that you expect at this stage of their career. First of all, they've won everything there is. But they're still very, very hungry.
In the ball.
And very, very hungry to succeed on and on and on and on. So the other clubs simply have to copy from what these guys are actually doing. They do nothing special. They train for 2 hours at maximum.
What?
Monday,
I thought
Wednesday,
they train like
and
every
Friday.
week.
No, they don't even train on a daily.
Every day.
They train Monday, Wednesday and Friday. But what happens is, I think, of course, the remuneration that the club offers at times puts a big debt on the players. Oh, I play for City Oilers, I'm paid this amount of money, I've got to be pushing in a little harder. So they will go on days they're not training at Silver Springs, put in extra effort on a Monday and a Thursday. By the time the coach gets to them on a Friday, if they have no game, that is.
Yes.
If they have no game on Friday, the coach will find that the way he left the players on Wednesday is the way they are. I had a conversation with one of them, one of the most senior players at that club. He told me in the past he used to drink, but one day he woke up on a Saturday morning, meant to go for training, and couldn't wake up. From that day onwards, he changed. He left booze. Because he knew he had a task to perform, a career to deliver, and people at home that feed off him because of the what?
Because of
the basketball. Of course, basketball doesn't pay them as much as maybe the jobs they get after. But because clubs in basketball, even Power had this in the past, I don't know whether they still do. To play for Power, you had to be at school, period. They never had anyone who is out of school. That was a very, very good thing that enabled players like... But of course, there was Isaac Afidra, you didn't see him. He now works with MTN Uganda. Players coming through the systems, knowing I have to play for, if I think I have to play for Power, then I've got to go to school and study. Now, Isaac Afidra is one of those I'm talking about in the previous submission, that if Isaac Afidra lands a position of authority at MTN, and we go there looking for sponsorship, for cycling, for example, we shall get it. Not that all other guys down there at MTN or anywhere else are not so much for sport, but if it's our very own, let's grow our very own into positions of sport. Let someone have a history of sport in a position of authority at very